Hey, everybody. It is Tuesday night. NXT just went off the air. You have the Tiger Cat Tuesday crew going live to talk some NXT. I can't wait to talk about it. It's all the fallout from Vengeance Day. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it with you guys after the intro. Hey all, Tuesday. What would I call? Oh, the Tiger Cat crew is here. Can't wait till I see the joy. I just before we started, I was telling her I could see the joy. I do have to sit here and say real quick, UPR, been a part of this brand for almost 4 years, and that intro that we had, that drumline intro, I said, when the hell did that happen, right? I'm on your host, the great Grand Slam Pooba, aka Badguy Jack, and the reigning defending UPR heavyweight champion of at least 6 galaxies, maybe 7. I'll tell you how I feel later. And I'm joined with the fantastic, wonderful Wrestling Doll. Wrestling Doll, how are you, madam?
I'm doing fine. Work was iffy, so I got to relax by watching people beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, well, that sounds like a violent day in the Bronx. We got here in the chat. We got George. He's always number one. He wasn't number one Sunday, but he is. He's here number one on Tuesday, which matters because Tuesday is the show. It's the show that goes on. We got George. He says, "What's up, everybody?" He says NXT was pretty solid tonight. I agree. I was on Wrestling Doll. I missed the first 30 minutes. I took a nap. I overslept, and that tag team match looked like it was everything. So it looked like a match that I will be watching back on. Great seeing Malik, Blade, and Edris Nafi. We're going to talk about it. We also got the crowd was all over Mello tonight. That means he's doing his job. That hill turn was what it needed to be. We got the Wolf Dogs came out and celebrated winning. We got Unpopular Review said made today. ECW is the reigning UPR champion. I don't believe it because there was no one who did the tallies, and now all of a sudden, we're just making stuff fair, and that's fine. But people don't want that. I know that because I look at my DMs and they tell me we don't want EC as the UPR champion. We got Mike Riggs. He's it's been a while. What's going on, Mike? He says, "Good evening, Unpopular Review fan. This is Mike Riggs. In case you didn't know, it's Mike Riggs. Welcoming you to the WWE NXT review show for Tuesday night, February 6th, 2024. And we sure have a lot to chat about. And here tonight, we might have to have him as the intro. This was fantastic. I mean, he beats me. And now here you are with your host, Badguy Jack and Barber, although he should say Wrestling Doll. But what's going on, Mike? We're glad that you're in the chat. We got Warman in here. We got George, who says, finally, Lola Vice losing a match thanks to Tatum Paxley. Thank you, George, for being here. And we got Mike, who says, and I add you to my YouTube. He added your YouTube. So good job. Fantastic stuff. Thank you guys for joining us on Tuesday. And we hope that, you hit that like button, subscribe, the notification, all that good stuff. So when we go live, you just know, like, oh, let me join in and see what these guys are doing. Wrestling Doll. NXT opened up with Mello on Saturday. Was it Saturday? No, it was Sunday. Forgive me. Oh, we got Z the Sun. What up, Z? Z, I do want to sit here and chat real quick about Z. Z is fantastic. He made me a logo. I salute you, good sir. Thank you for your hard work and your creativity. But you was very rude to me earlier today, and I will be going to management about mentioning one Bill Goldberg. We don't talk about Bill Goldberg here on Tuesday night, so no more Bill Goldberg talk. I'm done talking about Bill Goldberg. Are you done talking about Bill Goldberg, Wrestling Dog? Yes. But it opened up with Mello. He turned on his boy. He had it's funny, I'm on Twitter, and someone wrote that the jacket that he was wearing, they call it the betrayal drip because the jacket is similar to what Shawn Michaels had when he turned on One Money Jannetty all those years ago. He comes out there, the crowd is just over Mello. They're like, "Yo, you took our guy out. You dirt." They're booing him.
Well,
And
they did. Well, there were some FU Mellow chants, so they really were upset and over him because he took out their favorite of the two of them. Even though he says that, well, we're going to get into all that later, but he basically is acting like, I ain't going to tell y'all now why I did this. Basically coming out with the chair that he hit the boy with, which frankly is as petty as they come. But when you are showing the people why you were such a great heel before you became a good face, you're going to be as petty as you want.
I love this. I thought this was great. I thought this was great from some of the stuff that I saw. I thought this was fantastic. He goes out there. He doesn't give him right away. He doesn't jump and go like, "This is why I did this and this and this and this." He's like, "Nah, I don't feel like talking about it." And then he leaves. I think that's what makes me laugh, that he leaves and then he eventually comes back. I do want to mention too, when he comes back, he's walking the deep streets of the NXT parking lot by himself. I gotta say, my man is on a whole nother level right now, because you do not walk the NXT parking lot by yourself. I just don't think that's a wise move. But Wrestling Doll, I want to give you the floor, and I want you to talk about this tag team match. That was what opened, right? With
they
Malik.
had that, but before that happened, we also did have the Wolf Dogs. Their team still weird for me. Are ringside with the cup to celebrate, and Bron Breakker insists that Alicia Taylor announces them properly as the Wolf Dogs, because originally she had just said as Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin, which I still said they should have just went with like the Lone Dogs or something. But if they want to pull up that whole Wolf Dog thing because of previous gimmicks, then so be it. But they basically are saying like, yeah, they're one of those other odd couple tag teams, but we make it work, and we want to challenge the family to a title match because we earned our opportunity to do so we gonna get that.
And as they should. I mean, I honestly thought that, because the family does come out later, right? They come out and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take you on any time." And I think, I don't know, between Baron and Bron, which one was calling and saying just do it next week. Let's do it next week. I honestly thought this was going to be a match that they had at Stand and Deliver. I thought to myself, like, Stand and Deliver seemed like a great swan song for Bron, because I feel like WrestleMania season, Bron is on the WrestleMania. I mean, I don't want to say the card exactly, but I feel like by then he's going to be on the main roster. But it looked like that's going to be happening next week. I don't know if we get an actual finish, meaning like we get a winner on it. But I gotta say, I'm actually interested in this. I don't think Bron and what's my man name? Tony D been in the ring and compete against each other. And I feel like those are two big powerhouses. But I also want to throw in here, Baron Corbin has been a heel for years. So hearing them actually cheer for Baron Corbin, I was like, whoa, this is different.
And before you say anything, I wouldn't say he's necessarily a face. I just think he's more of a tweener that is a heel, but still gets cheered on because of the faction that he's in and who he is working with, because now the people are behind Bron Breakker again.
Understood. No, I think that's a fair point. I want to get into some of these chats. We got, when Trick comes back, he's going to whoop that trick on Mello. That's George. Charmaine says, hello, Wrestling Doll. We got Charmaine, the Wolf Dogs suck. I actually think they're great. I really want a sitcom with these guys. I think they're a lot better than I thought they would be together. Because I was like, I don't know. But it's been some really great stuff. Axiom and Nathan Frazer versus Malik Blade and Edris was pretty solid. I believe it. I saw only clips of it, and I'm really, once again, disappointed I did not watch that live. Wrestling Doll, I like your shirt. That's Charmaine. What about my shirt?
Charmaine. It's actually merch from a wrestler who used to be on NXT and did do some stuff in the Cruiserweight Classic back a few years. It's on Pro Wrestling Tees. Buy it.
Here she is. Good job. We got also Mike. He says, Wrestling Doll, Good, congratulations on being the new undisputed, unpopular review War Heavyweight
Yes.
Champion of the world, and
Nope,
it would be nice.
nope, nope, nope. I'm not the champion right now. I'm not the champion right now. It's still this one next to me.
Thank you. See, EC wants to make it about himself because he just he gets the pencil and he's the booker. But we're gonna be honest, guys. You guys want me as the champion. I know this is what you guys want. Yeah, next week the Wolf Dogs are challenging the family, and they're definitely going to lose. I'm talking about the Wolf Dogs. It's possible. I don't see them winning the championships anyway, but I don't know. So for me, it's like, do they have the match and we have a finish, or do we have a match, some kind of screwy thing happen, and that's a wait for them to be on the standard deliver card? So that's where my mind is at. But nonetheless, yeah, no, I don't see the Wolf Dogs ever being the NXT Tag Team Champions. We also got Charmaine. Do you think the Wolf Dog is getting the? No, I'm sorry. Did you answer your question, Charmaine? No. Did you have anything you want to add to that, Wrestling Dog?
No,
Mike said. Oh, go ahead.
no, I didn't have anything to say about that.
Okay. Mike says, bad guy Jack. In my opinion, NXT need Roxanne, Perez, and Gigi as the NXT Women Tag Team Champion. I don't think so. I see Roxanne being called up. Gigi, yeah, I feel like I said this a few times on the show. Like she has become, and I say this so respectfully, like an afterthought. Like I wouldn't even say job, but just an afterthought. Like she's rarely on the show. You see her.
Last thing they had with her was her thing with Kiana. Now that that's over, they don't have anything for her.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think they need to be a team. Especially since I just don't think Roxanne's gonna be on and be on the NXT brand much longer. I kind of could see her being a call up on the night after WrestleMania. So we got that. And also George, he puts in the chat because Braun Breaker is going to Raw. And I feel like he should be on Raw. I feel like Mello is a SmackDown dude. When they were teasing Braun might be on SmackDown, I said I would separate them. I would keep them apart for the time being. So yeah, Braun should be on Raw. And I saw that there was something on Raw, right, with him and Gunther. And there's that history there, right? If you watch NXT, Braun was the last person to beat Gunther. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there. But yeah, Braun going to Raw. We got Gigi had a match on main event. Don't know when. And that is coming from George Lewis. So let's talk about this tag team match. Is that what was next? Because I'm really excited to talk about this.
Because while the promo was happening, Axiom and Nathan Frazer came out for their match, interrupting in the process with Baron and Braun looking all confused, like, why the hell are you two in here? And they're like, we have a match. That's what will happen right now. So they decided to just go sit out on ringside for commentary. And then Edris and Enfore and Malik Blade come out. And the match is good. They're all very, I would say, more on the quick, high-flying side of things. So that always makes it entertaining to watch. I like all four of them, even though Nathan is acting more and more like a heel type character and getting my everlasting nerves like that. Because he's acting like the little brother that's trying to be cool, but it's not working, and he just comes off looking and sounding like a jackass.
Okay.
But despite that, match was great. Yeah. I like that Axiom was the one to pin. I'm just sad that it had to be Edris, but I would have also been sad if it was Malik. I would have been sad if 3 of the 4 of them got pinned, and we can all guess which one I wouldn't have been sad to get pinned tonight.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But Axiom hits Edris with the golden ratio for the win.
You know, I mean, I knew that because Axiom is really, really good. Like he's so good. And same thing with Nathan Frazer. But I was really hoping that my bros Edris and Malik would have got the win here. I feel like there's a repackage here, but I think there's also this really great story that they're telling. Like they're down on their luck, and then eventually when they start picking up some wins, I really want the best for them. I would love for them to, and it's not even like a long run for the NXT Tag Team Championships, but I would love for them. I just think there's such a great story there. They're like lovable underdogs, and the fans love them. I mean, there was a spot that I saw because I was watching some clips And I think it was Malik who was going crazy. He was doing like drop kicks and he was throwing people, just showing his ability. These guys have such great talent that I really want them to eventually be a priority on NXT. I feel like it's not just me saying that. You also have the crowd there on NXT who was behind them because they even had a special unique chant for Malik. I don't know. It was something they had a rhythm to it. So I think a lot. It's not just me once again who wants to see this. I would like to see good things for them. I did want to tap into what George is in the chat. Roxanne Perez, which brand do you see her on? I feel like since they got Tiffany on SmackDown, Raw. I think I can see her on Raw. I can see her on Raw because at first I was going to say SmackDown, but they got Tiffany, so I wouldn't have every last.
She doesn't need any more Tiffy time. She's already had enough Tiffy time.
Yeah, she don't need no more Tiffy time.
No.
That the blue brand is going to get a whole lot of Tiffy time. A whole lot of Tiffy time. Byron Saxton did fill in. I saw something where he had. I don't know what the reason is with Booker T being out, but I saw something. But yeah, Byron Saxton was out there, and I think Vic Joseph tried to, and you know how I feel about some Vic Joseph, tried to bully one Byron Saxton. There was something when he said, "Hey, you've been bullied before, and you never went on the deep end." And I say, Byron Saxton, you should go on the deep end. You know what Byron Saxton should do? He should go to people's houses and just leave the refrigerator open. That'll teach him a lesson. That is how you send a message.
Then he should have done that to Corey Graves like years ago. Then.
He should have definitely did that because Corey Graves had been bullying him for years. I agree.
Well, now he gets Wade Baird, and now they two can just talk like two bullies all day long.
You know what's funny?
Why put two color commentators together if all they're going to do is just agree with each other with stupid opinions all night long?
I kind of like this a little bit. Like, right, because they're both heels. I don't think you usually get that kind of combination, right? You usually have one heel, one face, sometimes two faces. And so when you have that, that leads to something unique. So when I saw it, I was like, I'm kind of interested in this. I would be interested in seeing where this go. Malik Braden Edris should go for that. I agree, sir. And that's why I said to myself, I know I'm not the only one who think that they should build them up, Malik and Edris. Yes, absolutely. And like I said, I feel like the fans are behind them. The fans are just are behind them. It's not like they come out and it's just you hear crickets and someone farting in the performance center. Like they get a reaction, which would be very disgusting. I went to the performance center once. It was nice. It didn't stink.
Did you expect it to?
I thought there was a guy who wanted to fight me from across the room. I remember, and this is why I don't make eye contact because people are just weird. And I remember I was cheering something, and I saw a guy look at me, and he pointed at me, and I don't know what he said. I thought he said he was going to eat me or something like that. But I'm very grateful that he did not eat me because then I can't do the Tuesday night show with you guys. He was a nice big guy. He looked like he was ready to cause all kinds of hell. What else do we have on the docket here? We have Dragunov, I believe. He comes out here, right? Dragunov. He's really upset. He comes in, goat teeth and all, suit, and he gives Trick his props. He says, "Trick, you put up a hell of a fight. We went out there," and that's Dragunov thing, right?
That's Trick Williams. He doesn't just respect him; he likes him. But despite how much he likes him, he couldn't let him slay the Mad Dragon. That is Ilya Dragunov, and gave everything that he had. And if one man could beat him, he'd be a worthy champion. But now there's just one person who wants to come out to get his ass out here, and that is Carmelo Hayes, that he's been putting accused. Now we see his true colors, and that you couldn't handle your friend getting to the top and doing better than what you were in terms of champion. And then instead we get Dijak coming out again, which you said before that Dragunov was obsessed with Dijak. Now it's the other way around. Dijak's obsessed because now that Joe Gacy's out of his way, at least for now, now he's got to go attack somebody else, and apparently he's got to go attack Dragunov for the 20th millionth time.
I don't blame.
So he says he bets Ilya that he'll do to him what he did to Gacy.
Clearly not enough he didn't do enough to Gacy. I mean, we're going to talk about Gacy a little bit later, but he wants to get his revenge.
Yeah, And he's like, but sitting there with his broken nose has to be feeling a little bit that word, which I still don't know how to say. I'm not going to attempt to say it or butcher the language. And that he's learned what it takes to break a man who thinks he's unbreakable. Dragunov fights back, but Dijak hits him in the nose, and then they start fighting. And then security has to come out and break them apart. Dijak, leave him alone. Stop being obsessed. You called Dragunov off, and you thought that he was obsessed with you. Now you need to stop.
Can I sit here and say that I never liked that Mariah Carey song, Why Are You So Obsessed With Me? Just wanted to throw that out there. Not one of Mariah's best hits. Dijak, there was something later in the night, too. I thought this was actually pretty funny. When he did have that match with Dragunov, and we'll talk about it later, he hit him in the nose and then said, how's your nose feel? I just thought that was actually pretty funny. Some funny stuff there. We got Dijak should not have interrupted Dragunov. But look, this man just had a victory on Vengeance Day, which I honestly didn't think he would do. But he got a win, has some momentum, and he's like, you know what? I want that NXT championship. Good job. As he should. He should sit there and say, I want that NXT championship. Dragunov looked like he was in war. Absolutely. Well, that's every Dragunov match. I mean, I feel like if he gave you a hug, it would look like he was in war. That's just the Dragunov way. We're going to continue to talk some more NXT. Why don't we get ready to do a quick commercial break and reset? And we're going to talk more right after these commercials. So, commercial.
So then they remind us about Adam Copeland, definitely not Edge, absolutely not Edge. And if it was Edge, it would be the guitarist from U2, about the Cope Open recap. So we get the video of the Cope Open recap, and we learned that Adam Copeland, who works every week, is not working tonight. I don't believe he certainly didn't work on Rampage, and I don't believe he worked on Dynamite. And we're going to hear from him next week. So maybe this Cope Open Challenge has taken a little bit more out of the 50-year-old than we thought it did. What do you think about the Cope Open Challenge?
I like that.
She likes it. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know. Speaking of things we like, is Tony Schiavone. And what he has with him is the #1 contender to the AEW World Championship, according to the rankings that dropped just a few days ago. And it is Swerve with Prince Nana. So everyone's doing the Nana dance. Let's do the Nana dance. Swerve while you drive. Swerve while we drive. But he doesn't do this thing. We're going to just add that. Can you do that now?
Yes.
Let's see. Then you go like this. Yeah. And then this.
Very sexy.
It is very sexy. That's exactly right. This is how I get a wife like this. Sexy dances. Nana stole my dance.
You know what? I personally believe Nana did steal that man's dance. That was fantastic. You know, Wrestling Doll, you know, his lovely wife is not usually a co-host here, but shout out to her. We need something. That's why I said the Tiger Cats. We need to win the tag team. We need our own like dance. We're gonna figure that out eventually. But guys, this is Unpopular Review, the NXT edition. I'm here. Wrestling Doll is right here. And we're going to continue to talk NXT. Why don't we get into this segment here? We have Lexis King going against Osborne Riley. But before we talk about
before we have that, we have JC Jane and Thea Hale back.
I love her.
The success of the calendars. When Thea realizes, oh, Riley's match is up next. I should go watch it. JC's like, no, don't. You look desperate. You're already hit with this because now you're playing Operation Hard to Get. Listen, I just have a couple things to say.
I love her.
I have a couple things to say. Now, yes. I know.
What up, gang? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, JC Jane is acting like Saraya right now over in AEW, trying to keep Ruby away from Angelico or whatever. But the thing is, Saraya's doing it to be a petty bitch because she doesn't want Ruby to have anybody. Thea Hale's actually trying to be helpful with her because Thea Hale's young and doesn't have a lot of experience with guys. However, playing hard to get is not always the best way to go because it really makes you look uninterested in the worst way possible. And then a guy really won't want to like hang out with you if you're just like playing games and all that stuff. So I think she should have just went out there and been like his good luck charm, basically. But that's just me.
No. Listen, Wrestling Dog. Look, I hear what you're saying, but I believe
Well,
everything that JC Jane was saying was correct. Honestly, does anyone think JC Jane is wrong? She's the one who saved Chase U. I don't think she's incapable. She's incapable of being wrong. Good job, JC. Thea's gonna learn. Listen, when I was she like 20, 21, 13 or something like that? When I was a young lad, I didn't know nothing. I wish I had someone with the grace and knowledge like JC Jane. I was so happy to see her. JC Jane fan, I can't wait to get a shirt. When we go for WrestleMania, I will be wearing a JC Jane shirt. So I just want to throw that out there. But we have the match again. We have Lexis King going against Osborne Raleigh. These two have been getting in each other's face for the last 2 weeks, and it's so funny. It's like white boy getting white boy face. You make a move. No, you make a move. No, you make a move. Now you make a move. And now they're finally doing this match. It was some solid stuff. Osborne, I gotta say, he was in the breakout tournament, but I was just a big fan of Ober. Like Ober, I said Ober needs to win this. But Osborne, when I was watching some of his stuff, I was like, yo, he's pretty solid. Like he's really good. I mean, he's very athletic, could do some things. Lexis King is pretty. So as I was watching the match, I was like, Lexis just don't do it for me in the ring, and I'm a big fan of in-ring work. I feel like with Lexis King, he got the character. I want to throw that out there. I feel like, and that's that's the main thing. So he got that. But a lot of times in the ring, it looks like he's still like overthinking. So I don't really get excited too much for a Lexis King match. But I thought he looked solid here, though. I thought like some of the stuff was good. I'm just not a fan of that finish. When I see it, I kind of just go like, oh, here we go. But to throw out here, because to talk about the storyline here with Osborne and Thea, Osborne, he looks into the crowd, he looks into the sea of Chase U shirts, and he sees that Thea is not there, and that's where Lexis take advantage, and he hits him with his finisher, and then we hear Lexis. I kid you not, when I hear Lexis King's theme, I immediately go, oh man, this sounds like WCW Saturday Night music. But Lexis King get the win, was the right outcome. What are your thoughts about this match, Wrestling Doll?
Riley Osborne is a really good talent, and yeah, Lexus definitely needs to work a little bit more in ring as far as like not overthinking too much. But I feel like it's a little bit different because before he was featured more on AEW Dark from time to time. He used to be featured on a Dynamite, but as time went on, he wouldn't be appearing as much. So now he has to get used to being on TV more and more with people. But he also has to get used to the same faces watching him every week. So he can't overthink that too much. Otherwise, the people aren't going to be invested.
Right. Yeah, I just
Unless
think there's some work.
Just acting like a jackass.
I think I mean, I think he's at the right place where he needs to be in the developmental, and I said that with a lot of respect. So he can work on those things, because I see what George is saying. He says same. I think Lexus has the look, but the in ring, it's definitely the in ring. But his look, his presence. I mean, and you mentioned AEW. I feel like we said a few times on this show. You said it was featuring him, but right, you said Dark, so that meant a lot of people was not because not a lot of people watch Dark. But you could tell he was still learning on the go. And that's fine. That's fine. This match was fine. We talked about the stuff. We talked about that. Oh, let's talk about Carmelo Hayes has returned, and he comes. And like I mentioned earlier, he's walking the parking lot by himself. Crazy. He says the villain. He said the villain is the villain of the story, but no one wants to hear his side. He mentions that he's not jealous of Trick, and he wanted Trick to reach his heights and potentials. He wanted Trick to make his family proud. He also said we had an agreement. He said I was going to be the NXT champion, and you was going to be the NXT North American Championship. And then when you bit the hand that fed you, that's when he said I knew I had to make my move. And that's when he. I gotta say this was great. So I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys. The year is 2005. We have Shawn Michaels. He turned heel for the first time since his return in 2002. Is it really a heel turn if you turn on Hogan? I don't know if that's really a heel turn. I just want to sit here and say maybe he just knew something we didn't know.
Depends.
He calls out one. He makes fun of Hogan, but he's in Canada, and as he's in Canada, he sits there and says, "Yeah, I screwed Brett," which obviously got me worked up. Just like how Dice did earlier in the day in that chat. But he said, "Yeah, I screwed Brett." And then Bret Hart's music plays. And everyone's like, "Whoa! Bret is going to come out. He's going to get his revenge." And then we realize Shawn, born again, Michaels, misled us. And that's why I have trust issues with one, Shawn Michaels. Because he lied to me. Once you lied to me, you have lost me. And Mello done the same thing. Played Trick's music. Everyone's like, he's going to come out. He's going to come out. He doesn't come out. And the crowd, when you see Mello doing like this, like he's dancing, you knew it was all rude. And I think it was a smart move, too, because Trick should not be coming out. I think Trick, I was thinking about this before the show, that Trick should probably take 2 weeks off or 3 weeks. He should sell the attack and should be out for a few weeks. I thought this was some great stuff. I actually thought if you look at our graphic picture, I thought the shot of him sitting with the arena dark and the light is just on him. I thought that was just a good touch to this segment. Mello showing why he is in the chat. The crowd was sitting there saying, "You ain't him," which is not true. I get it. Y'all doing that because y'all want to be fancy. I want to be fancy down there. But Mello showing why he is him. So Wrestling Doll, when you go, okay. What did you think about this segment? And then we will move on.
That Mello sounded like a petty high school girl coming up with a valid reason for why she decided to steal. Because I can, or because you got somebody that I wanted, that I called dibs on, even though you didn't know about it whatsoever. Like, boy, grow up. So he was doing better than you in the sense of getting popularity and getting a title shot. Everybody's gonna get a damn title shot. You weren't the only one that's gonna get a damn title shot. And yeah, he would have gone out to the North American Championship. He did, and he won it for 3 days. And then they gave it back to Dominic. So let him have a chance to go after something else, because you ain't helping him to go after those tag belts. The Cruiserweight belt doesn't exist anymore since they unified it with the North American Championship. So what else is he going to have left?
No
offense. They didn't make a sorry that you. Here's a belt. They don't do that. Let him go after whatever he wants. If you don't like it, then too bad. Go complain to HBK. Tell HBK to give you a match with him to become the number one contender for the belt to fight Dragunov again to either one of y'all.
Yeah. That's the best I got. But yeah, I thought this segment was great. What I don't think is great is I was on Twitter and they showed that there's some kind of broccoli and cheese pot tart. Gross. We got Willie Jones.
That's one of those fan edited things. That is not real. I highly doubt that.
Thank God. I'm glad that you confirmed it because that is nasty. We got Willie Jones steaming Willie Beeman. He says he was jealous. He hate to see him shine. And that's nasty. You shouldn't do that to your boy. Next match that we have Roxanne Perez against Lola Vice. These two gals were on Vengeance Day. Roxanne was going for the NXT Women's Championship. Lola cashed in her breakout tournament contract, which I said before that I don't see that being a successful cash-in, and it wasn't. Matter of fact, she was the one who ate the pin. And she did it again here tonight. I thought these women had some fire. Roxanne is really good. I said earlier that I could see her before the year's up being on the main roster. Lola, she could use some work, but I thought she was solid here. I don't really have any kind of thing to say about this match except it did what it needed to do. It progressed the storyline with even though Lyra Valkyria was not there, you had Tatum Paxley there, who kind of seemed very R-Truth-ish tonight. She came out with the breakout contract, looked like she was trying to cash it in. Lola's like, girl, what? And she hit her with a sweet kick. I mean, that kick looked, she knocked her off that apron. And Roxanne takes advantage of it, hit her with the Pac Rocks, pins her 1, 2, 3. So I guess my question before I give you the floor is, do you think Roxanne is done chasing that NXT Women's Championship?
No, because she technically never lost it. So until she gets called up, she's not going to be done fighting for it until she finally gets beaten down by Lyra to the point where it's a done deal and they shake hands out of respect for one another. And then Tatum Paxley needs to leave Roxanne alone because she's not trying to do nothing but what she wants to do, which is try to fight for that belt like every other woman in there. Because, like I said before, and I'll say it again, they took away the women's tag title belts, so there's nothing else for them to fight for.
Okay.
I will never be over that, and I will bring it up in however any way.
That is fantastic. That's what this NXT, the NXT Tuesday crew is about. We voice our dislike and we yell a lot because I'm not gonna lie, I think you're beating me tonight in the yelling. George, once I snap my fingers, I want to know what the score point is. George, what's the score point? Let me know in the chat. I feel like that should be one of our shirts for the Tuesday night crew because we have a point system here on the Tuesday night. When we were working with Mike and Mike got the Tiger Cat rub when he worked with us on Tuesday, he said, how do I get points here? And I had no answer for him. I just said, just be good. And we hope he is good. I hope you guys were watching the Mike Knox show last night. But before we go into a commercial, we're on even ground here. George is letting me know in the chat that we have, I believe, 89,000 points. So that is fantastic. Usually, George, I'm gonna give a shout out to you. You're here. I always appreciate you being here. We both appreciate you being here, but you're kind of biased, and I've seen you take away so much points from me for no reason. But I have a lot of love and respect for you because you are a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. So that is fantastic. Anybody who likes Sonic, I am a fan of. Let's move on to the next segment. We have Fawn Henley with Ren Sinclair going against the Metaphor 2 of Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. This match was cool.
Which I will say that a million Jakara Legend fanboys and fangirls were screaming happy from the edge of their seats, including one that heard about it wherever he is right now, because we all know he's not watching because anytime he has to watch NXT, he acts like he has to go to a therapy session afterwards.
Who's that? The executive consultant? I don't know why NXT is just so fun to watch. I mean, it's especially as each episode goes by, it's very fun, a little wacky. I've said it plenty of times, but I mean, you guys know that's why you guys are here with us in the chat to talk it. We got George. I do want to answer this question: who is going to voice Shadow the Hedgehog? They haven't announced who it is, but trust me, when eventually it's revealed, I will know, and I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about it on air. We got George, still not a fan of Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. Really? I feel like Last Legend has really improved a lot. I mean, from that battle royal to her getting a little bit more singles matches. Matter of fact, just to get to the point, you had the Metaphor win this match. Oh, I feel like we missed a segment, but I'm going to talk about this and then we're going to get to some segments here. But I feel like she's gotten better. Matter of fact, when she did the power bomb, and it looked like it was a regular power bomb because she kind of does a power bomb where it's like she grabs you by the throat and then slams you. It's like a choke slam power bomb kind of thing. But it looked like she hit a regular power bomb. And I had, to me, if you was to say who's like your favorite person to ever do a power bomb, who's your favorite person to deliver a power bomb, I'm gonna go with one big sexy Kevin Nash, aka Diesel. So when she hit the power bomb, it kind of gave me Diesel vibes. Oh, because when Diesel does it, Diesel seem like he just throws you. It looks dangerous. Although I gotta say, a good person who has it too, just to show my age. I feel like people who younger than me won't know who this is. Scott Norton had a really good power bomb as well. I feel like we should have that as a top five people who did power bombs, because you know who else had a power bomb? I'm showing, acting like I know all of these things about wrestling. Sid Vicious had a good power bomb too. Not as good as Kevin Nash, but he had a good one. Let's probably get that going, right? Backstage, maybe we can have the top 5 power bomb thing. All right. We got the green light here. We got Z the Silent is here. Norton's bomb was dangerous. Yo, you are not lying. It looked like he would drill you in the freaking ground when he power bombed you. Yeah, no. But it was something about Nash, because it looked like you was just floating in the air. And I feel like with Nash, it's because he's so tall. That's why it looked that way. But Norton looked like Norton looked like if the Juggernaut wanted to powerbomb you, which is crazy, because if Juggernaut powerbomb you, you are done. We have also George in the chat. He says Drew Gulak and Damian Kemp and Charlie Dempsey, they want a shot at that. I did want to touch a little bit on that, because there was I agree with that. Z Nash bomb was just smooth. Well, Nash was just a cool dude. So I think everything he does was smooth. But George, because you mentioned that, so there was a clip. There was a clip where they had Robert Stone with his kids and Von Wagner. The Von-tastic. I feel like people say it wrong. It's Von-tastic. You gotta say Von-tastic. It's a V. But the Von-tastic Von Wagner. He was really disappointed on not winning the Heritage Cup, but he said when Robert Stone said when the metaphor got in his kid's face, he didn't like that, and Ron was like, I didn't like that either. That sucked. Then you had his kids come out, the twins. I forgot the name that he gave the nickname those kids. I think it was like the Brash Bros or something like that. I didn't really catch that, so forgive me for that. But then the boys were able to get Robert Stone to be doing a match. So next week, Robert Stone, I remember I don't know what was the last time he had a match, is going to be getting in the ring for the first time. I remember Robert Stone, TNA. He was Robbie, was it E or T? His gimmick was Jersey Shore, because the 2010s, oh my God, the Jersey Shore. Was you a fan of the Jersey Shores?
No.
Yeah, no, same. Was not a fan, but they were the popular thing in 20.
You did not even need to finish the sentence, and I alone could tell you how much I was not a fan of it. It was overrated. It was very annoying. I don't know why people liked it. It was very stupid. And people got famous on TV for stupid.
It was very loud. It was a loud time. I think I watched one episode and I had it on mute and it was still way too loud. And I saw a lot of this. And I never understood what this was. I feel like I dislocated my freaking shoulder. Oh my God, I think I'm injured here. Z is letting me know it is Robbie E. Thank you. Because his other partner too, I think he was Robbie E.
Robbie E. That was his old name.
Okay. That's funny. I'm actually watching Real Shore right now. Z says that next week, the Von-tastic Von Wagner and Mr. Stone going against Noam Dar and Oro. See, you know what I don't like about this match? Because Oro's probably going to be eating the pin, and I don't like that.
Oro always eats the pin
with a fork, and I want more for this guy.
Actually, they give him a spork to eat the pin with.
You just wanted to top me. Good job, Wrestling Dog, because you did top me. I said a fork. You said no, a spork. Shut up, bad guy. You don't know what you're talking about. Good job, Wrestling Dog. Oh, man. How can we not win Duo of the Year? If we don't win again, we riot. I just want to throw that right now. We got George. He says Robbie E and that girl Cookie. Yeah, Cookie, because it was supposed to be a play on Snooki. Matter of fact, real quick, and we'll get into another segment and then a commercial. Jay Wow showed up on TNA, and I think she was with the Beautiful People, and they beat up Cookie and Robbie E. And Robbie E used to crack me up because he would just, I don't know. He used to crack me up. He used to make me laugh. But 2010s wrestling was a wild time. Everyone had the the spiky hair with the blonde in there. Oro Mensah is a punching bag, and don't be surprised if Oro get put through a table. Yeah, I don't want to see that for that black man. Not during Black History Month. No, we don't want that. I don't want that.
Put
I don't want
Noam
that.
Dar to the table. Put Noam Dar to the table.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want respect, justice for Oro. Please, let's get that going. And another segment I want to get into before we no matter of fact, let's get into this match and then the segment, and then we'll do a commercial because then we'll talk about the main event here. We have Fawn Henley.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Fawn Henley and Ren Sinclair. Oh, we already talked about that. I'm sorry. Oh,
we
this segment.
Talk about it. Segment. That's what I was going to try to get into.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I messed up. Go ahead.
Briggs and Jensen were catching up, talking about the match and how they're all doing their own thing. Jensen cuts him off before Briggs leaves, saying he's lost without him, that he doesn't know how he's going to do it, that he's struggling, he needs him. Briggs pulls him close and says Dean Fat ain't going to do a damn thing, that you're not a kid anymore, and he gets shoved into the wall, telling him to stand on his own feet and he can either sit and cry like a bitch, like he is right now, or he can grow some balls and wake the fuck up. Which I think will probably be like a storyline, not a feud, but in the sense of grow the fuck up and be more independent and not be dependent on other people all the time to help you out.
You know, when I saw this segment here, I immediately said, another episode of As the Mustache Turns. And, you know, all
Days of our mustache.
What kind of mustache? I'm sorry, repeat that one more time for me. What kind of mustache?
Days of our mustache.
The Days of Our Mustache. That's what, okay. That's the soap opera. Okay. On the CW at that. Yeah. Poor Jensen, man. He has been lost. I mean, Briggs been out there doing his thing. Fawn Henley, she looked like she picked up a new friend, and Ren Sinclair. And then Jensen's always in the background crying, and you can see the tear flowing off his mustache. I'm sorry, it's just his mustache always stands out to me. Like, it's not even like an awful mustache or anything. It's just there. And I just want more for him and his mustache. I think him and his mustache should go for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And I think it would be great. Jensen's stash or something like that. I don't know. I mean, guys, if you guys are creative, come on. I mean, help us out here. But I really want more for Jensen's mustache. Jensen gets on my nerve. But Justin's mustache, I kind of want him. I feel like his new gimmick he should be on a horse. He just takes one of the horses from Fawn Henley's farm. And then when they sit here and say, like, Jensen picks up some wins, he's getting more notice, he's getting credibility. And then when Briggs and Fawn Henley were like, I want to get the band back together. That's when he go, no, I will not get back with you. Me and the horse leave. And then him, the mustache, and the horse just go away. So that's my thoughts on that segment. We got also George says Day of Our Mustache, season 1. Yes, absolutely. Season 1. Episode, I'm going to say this is episode 3 right about now. Episode 4 would be next week.
Also, 10 minutes into the future.
We got you on fire tonight. Check you out. We have George. He says Kiana James versus the newbie next week. Right. Let's talk about that real quick because we're going to talk about the main event and we're going to call it a night. This is probably going to be one of our quicker NXT review shows. But Kiana James and oh my God, what is that? Thank you. Was it Izzy Dane, right? You said that Izzy Dane, right? Okay, thank you. They go in the locker room. They just saw this vignette of Kiana Jordan, and they're not impressed. They're like, "Oh, you girls are a bunch of future. You're looking at a future nobody, just like you guys." They're bullying the locker room, and then they see a new girl who's just very excited to be there, which remind me of me when I first started my job in my early 20s. I was so excited, and then life. So she's so excited to be there. They said, let's make an example out of her. F this girl in particular. They take her coffee. Now, I don't like coffee personally, but they take her coffee and then you just pour it on the floor or in a bag. I forget exactly. But my point was, it was a waste of coffee. I don't like that. You know what makes me upset, Wrestling Dog? I'm hot right about now. You know what makes me upset? I do maintenance work. I'm going to tell you what my shoot job is. I do maintenance work. I got to make sure the building's clean, make sure the garbage and all that stuff, right? You know what makes me mad? I'll tell you what makes me mad. When I'm looking in the garbage and I see fresh pizza in the garbage. You can tell someone took a bite and then threw in the garbage. What the hell is wrong with society? Who wastes pizza? It's gross. Wrestling doll, don't you think that's disgusting? Come on, wrestling doll. Keep it together, doll. I know you know that's awful.
It is.
Wasted pizza. And not even like if it's anchovy pizza, I'd be like, bet. Because who eats anchovy pizza? You suck if you like anchovy pizza. But it's regular. Huh?
People with no taste buds, like no literal sense of taste.
That's right, wrestling doll. That's right. We're gonna bully you if you like anchovy pizza. What's wrong with you? We got Johnny in the chat. Last Christmas, I told my mom I want a Cody figure for Christmas. On Christmas morning, for my surprise, it was a rock. Shit.
No, what is this? 1996?
Holy hell!
That's not funny. That's not funny.
Yo,
Y'all are fucked up. That's not funny.
yo, that was the most random.
I don't care that he's laughing right now. That's not funny.
Yo,
Triple H is literally writing an alternate.
Yo, that was just.
Let's not keep going with this.
It's.
I mean, for crying out loud, Ava Raine deactivated her Twitter account for something that wasn't even in her control.
Yeah, that right there, I can't co-sign. I'm for, like, I've seen some funny memes and some really playful memes where no one's life is being threatened, but that stuff right there, man. I mean, I sit here and tell you guys, like, don't take this stuff so seriously. Go outside sometime. You have some kind of other activity, because when you're taking wrestling too seriously,
you're gonna threaten the life of a grown woman who's working on the development brand of a company that her father does not partake in, and he is on the board of directors in another section of the company. Again, something that she has no control over because she just works there. She's not on the board of directors. She's not in the creative team. She's not in any of that. So why are y'all threatening her for something that she didn't do, that's something that she wouldn't even have no control over in the first place? Y'all are just attacking her because that's her father.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it to Jimmy? Would you do it to Jay? Would you do it to Naomi? Would you do it to Nia? Would you do it to all of them just because they related to him? Would you do it to any of this family that's in the independent scene, even though they don't have a damn thing to do with it because they don't work in the WWE? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, people are gross, man. No, it's just it's honestly, I laughed at the comment because I just thought it was funny, but all that other stuff, yeah, no, I can't co-sign with that. And there's a lot of people who try to sit here and excuse crappy behavior. So no, we're not gonna co-sign on that. We got George in the chat. Killian Jordan is growing on me, and I can see her as a future. I can see her as a future NXT Women's Champion too. I've always liked Killian Jordan. I think she's great. I think when you call up Roxanne Perez, and maybe another name or something like that, I could see her eventually getting the NXT Women's NXT Women's Championship. I think she should have a run down there, but not right away. I mean, just take your time with her. She's young. Take your time. We got George. He says NXT GM Ava was talking to Jada Parker about having a match against Adrian Rizzo. Then Rig comes in and wants a match with Gallus, but Ava said that Rig will have to face the three of them one at a time. Yes. So thank you for that, George, because that was the
segment. However, she didn't give him 3-on-1. She said that she was going to give him 1-by-1. So basically, he's going to have a gauntlet match with all three of them.
Yeah, no, that's what.
Any of them is over. If you lose to either of the brothers or Joe Coffey, the match is over.
Right. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back into the chat. My stupid computer is slow. But yeah, no, that's what he was trying to say. George would say, want a match with Gallus, but said you had to face the three of them. Oh, at once. Oh, no, he was wrong. Yeah, no, you was absolutely right. I thought he meant that. But yeah, no, he's going to have to face them one-on-one. I don't think it's going to be a gauntlet. I think it's like 1 week he faced one, the other week he faced one. Or maybe it is. I don't think it was clear. At least I didn't hear that on.
Well, it interpreted one of those two ways, and next week we'll find out.
Absolutely. So with that said, we're going to play one final commercial. We are going to talk about this main event. We're going to do some plugs after that. Guys, you are watching Unpopular Review. Let me do some plugs right here. We have a Facebook, we have a YouTube, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, we have a Twitch. So, I mean, subscribe to those places. Once again, tell your friends, your family, your dog. If your dog can talk or like wrestling, tell them. That would be cool. And let's play this commercial, and we'll be right back after these words.
Here it is. Were you a Cody Rhodes fan during the Legacy days? I'm sorry, Bron. I had to rock this hat because I've been a Cody Rhodes fan forever. Orton versus Cody from the Evolution, from the Legacy days, right? Were you a fan of Dashing? Were you buying the shirts for Dashing? Were you fixing your mustache when he finally grew it? Not in this picture, but was you growing your mustache for Dashing Cody Rhodes? When he actually broke his nose and he wore the mask and he put the bags on fans, were you cheering for Cody? Oh, anyway, you waited till he left the company after Stardust, which he still did good because everything Cody Rhodes ever touches, it's always been good. Okay, the American Nightmare, Ring of Honor. He went and started his own federation over in AEW. He's breaking thrones. He didn't win WrestleMania because of this shit right here. It's literally in my fucking intro. You have to pay the piper, and I get that the piper is gone, and we know what been picked, but you had to pay. And now all of a sudden, now you're a fan. I get it now, right? Because he came out, he fought the establishment. That's what it's all about, people. See, what you don't understand is that sit down, lay down. Go ahead, lay down. It's okay. It's okay. Lay down. Put on some Marvin Gaye, some Johnny Gill, that deep R&B. And just lay back and let the smooth sounds of Mike Knox educate you on what you don't even know yourself. And that's the fact that you just truly deep down inside hate the WWE. There's your tweet. Hey, Chris, there's your commercial.
The music is what is the music for me. It's the music. I feel very
I got it to Cody Rhodes during his AEW run because I didn't know he was an ex-WWE star. So I have an excuse for why I became a fan later. But regardless.
Listen, I personally believe that you could be a fan whenever you feel like. I mean, sometimes someone their first run or their gimmick doesn't do it for you. And then as time goes on, you're like, oh, maybe I was sleeping on this dude. Because there's a lot of people I can say I was never a day one. I was like a day 18 or something like that. The music, the commercial was Jeffrey, what's going on, bud? He says, just passing through. NXT was a great show. It's great to see Jeffrey. It's always a pleasure seeing you, my guy. Matter of fact, Jeffrey, I didn't realize he liked cartoons like me. I shared some on Twitter. I didn't realize there was Johnny Bravo and Fred Flintstone. Oh, a Flintstone crossover. Crazy. But he also said the music insane. I thought it was an actual commercial. I'm not going to lie. Mike Knox in that commercial, great stuff, but I feel very uncomfortable with that music playing. He says, just lay down. Let the voices of Mike Knox smooth you. No, Mike Knox, I will not let you do that to me. You are married. So anyway, it was a great commercial. Check out Mike Knox. You know what I love about Mike too? Shout out to Mike Knox. Check out the Mike Knox show. He's really doing his thing. But I love when he tells a joke and he laughs at it. No wonder he thought he was going to win Funny Yourselves. Oh shit! Oh man! I love my own jokes too, but they're successful. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about this main event. We have Dijak against Dragunov. These guys had a match last year. Yeah, last year it was the beginning of the year. They had a last man standing, and it was really brutal. I thought this match was pretty solid. I don't think it was the same level, but I thought it was really good. Dijak is good. When Mike joined us on Sunday, and I guess he was asking what was the appeal. I guess for me, it's just that his in-ring, the character stuff. I mean, I think this is his best character, right? Because we don't talk about T-Bar. But Dijak, when he goes in the ring, he delivers. I like the spot where he did the springboard elbow. I said it earlier in the show where he punched Dragunov in the nose and says, "How's your nose feel?" Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you punch him in the nose and say that? That's like saying you step on someone's foot. It says you don't say sorry. It's rude. Really, really good stuff. Dragunov was going to get the win. He's the champion, even though the championship was not on the line. Dijak don't lose anything by losing this match. And it also showed that Dijak and Joe Gacy, their feud is not done. Joe Gacy, the way he popped out from underneath the ring. No, it looked like someone had,
with the boxing glove on his chicken poke chicken.
I thought that was great.
I like Joe Gacy. I liked him before in the breakout tournament in 2021. Then he did the stupid gimmick with the skits and being all freaky and creepy and shit. And now he's all just all wacky and crazy. I love him again.
You know, I gotta say, I don't know if like I'm a super big fan of Joe Gacy, but this stuff right here where he just randomly you'll randomly just find. A matter of fact, I saw this on Twitter because I didn't see this live, but someone's like, "Did you see this?" And I forget what segment it was, but they zoomed out and there was on the the NXT board in the back, they had the Joe Gacy mask. So I forget what part that they had.
Music and a new Titantron because it doesn't do that anymore. So why keep that?
I would keep the music. I love the music. The music.
No. He doesn't need it. He's not trying to recruit people into some creepy, smiley face ass cult. He doesn't need it.
I think you keep the music on your head.
No, I refuse. If he changes his music, then I will fully love him 100%. So for now, I'm still on the 90 because 10% is against the Titantron and the music.
Wow. Now you telling me no. Like, damn. Next week I'm bringing back the list. George, it's time to show your alliance. Listen, I hate to do this to you, Wrestling Dog. At least take away at least 5 points from Wrestling Dog. Something needs to be given. I was told no. You guys like that theme. Tell me you guys like that theme. I need to see this. They chatted.
Give your honest opinion whether you actually think that Joe Gacy's theme song for his gimmick now works with him being crazy as opposed to being a cult leader. Cult leaders are crazy in a sly, charming, manipulative way. He's just batshit crazy right now.
Jeffrey mentioned they chanted T-Bar tonight, actually, too. I didn't even notice that. Good ear, sir. Joe Gacy punched Dijak with a punching glove, which was fantastic. That was pretty good by Joe Gacy. Wow, Wrestling Doll, LOL. That's from George. Jeffrey said, no, not the list. Yes, I'm bringing that back. I mean, I want to agree with Wrestling Doll. See, he wants to agree with you.
Yeah, because he knows I'm right. It doesn't work with this gimmick.
No, it's not needed. Jeffrey says no, it's not needed. Oh my God! Like if I could stretch my own, because my list
he sees it too. It doesn't work for this gimmick.
Well, Jeffrey's always had it against me. I mean, I don't want to spread conspiracy things, but Jeffrey has always been.
Okay, now you saw Joe Gacy before in the schism.
There's always one going against me. I saw an old lady on the train today, took the seat from me, and I felt like that was a conspiracy against me. Matter of fact, I should put that.
Other people have the seats. Like, what if they can't stand for that long, anyways?
Well, you shouldn't skip leg day.
Not all of them can work out, but that's besides the point.
I kid, guys. I'm a gentleman. You guys know that. But after this match, Dijak takes the L, and we have I almost said Trick. Oh my God. Mello comes out, attacks Dragunov. He does the same chop block that he did to Trick at least twice on Sunday. The first time where he looked
he did it like 50 times.
That's his move.
He tried to amputate Trick Williams' leg, even though his leg was perfectly fine up until he attacked it. Next thing you know, we were going to give him a bionic leg and make him
the bionic leg. Oh my God. Not the bionic leg. Stop it.
I never watched that show, but even I'm aging myself right now because at least I know about that.
Good job. See, if Mike Knox was here, he would sit here and say, "What do you know about that? You wasn't born when that came out." And I'd sit here and say, "Mike Knox, have a good day." But that's the NXT review show. See, I'm very pleasant, right? That's the NXT review show. We did this in like an hour. We usually go like an hour and 27 minutes, but we wanted to make sure that we made this digestible, go through it. Want to thank you guys.
Right.
Yes, and we want to thank you guys for being in the chat. Thank you guys for just being here. I always feel like it's very, very important to say thank you guys for joining us, dealing with our nonsense, talking wrestling, and all that stuff. It's very much, we very much appreciate it. So we're gonna do some plugs. Definitely, Jeffrey. He says, Jack, you wouldn't do that. DJ in the chat. DJ is actually on the list for that Bill Goldberg reference earlier. I want DJ to understand how upset I am about when one. Alexa, do you like Bill Goldberg? She said no. Good job, Alexa. You getting an increase? Thank you for that. We got. Oh my God. Look, George ruined this great moment. He mentioned one Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, my least favorite luchadors of all time. George, why do you ruin it? Jeffrey, I'm going to give you the new job. Jeffrey, take away at least 20 points from George. We got Mello going to be chop blocking people like Nakamura low blow people. That 20, what was that? That had been 2018 when he just started kicking people in the dick, and that was just wild. I started wearing a cup for the next few days because I was scared that I was going to run into him. He was just wilding. I called him kick him in the dick Nakamura. That's why I kept calling him. I said, oh my God. Every time he's showing up, bang! He just kept kicking a bang. Oh my God. Some people I just didn't feel bad for. AJ, I felt so bad for. AJ, it seemed like every week AJ was I just said, dude, just don't show up to work. Nakamura was practically the NXT parking lot. Dangerous. Because if you had a set, he was kicking them. Wow. I'm so sorry I went off.
Oh my God.
I agree, Jeffrey. Jeffrey said, "I'm glad AJ. I'm glad he got him out the way too, because them kids would have had oh my goodness, black eye, maybe a bruised elbow or something like that. Oh my God." I don't mean even be talking about AJ's set, but I felt really bad. I put a GoFundMe for those things. I said he keeps getting kicked. Wow, poor AJ balls. Here's Nakamura. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all shouldn't be hearing me talk like this. I'm so sorry, but I really felt bad for those sets, and I probably shouldn't be saying that out loud. George is just taking. Oh, George and Jeffrey take away points from each other. I love this. I love causing chaos in the chat. But let's do some plugs. We wanted to make this a quick show. Let me make sure we got the graphics. Like I said before, thank you guys for being in the chat and dealing with the nonsense. And hearing me talk about someone's my concern about someone's balls. But tomorrow we have AEW Dynamite is the Dynamite review. You have Dan the Man and Vinny. Jeff has been moved to Monday Night Raw. He's with the executive consultant, and we're gonna talk about that and plug that. But Dynamite, Dan the Man, Vinny. Vinny has some takes. I've seen people. Vinny's the talk of the town, so please check them out. We are going to eventually. I feel like it's important that we keep mentioning this. We'll be having a TNA review show. So if you guys love TNA. We will be having a review show for it. So please continue to follow. SmackDown. We have Z the Silent. He was in the chat earlier. Shout out to my main man Z and Vic with the graffiti logo, because I just think that's always great. I always laugh. But they talk about Friday Night SmackDown. It's on Saturday. I believe it's I see it here. Saturdays in the afternoon. Check out these two gents. They're killing it. Please stop by. Also on Saturday, right after Collision go off the air, you have a combination of the AEW crew. You might have Vinny. You might have Dan the Man. You might have Sheriff. You might have one Shay Sawyer. Shout out to her. I know she had a show with One and Cat We Trust. Shout out to those lovely ladies. So Saturday, you got that. I like giving this guy a hard time, but he's such a great dude. The Mike Knox Show. Stop by. 6 p.m. He's talking about the news. He's talking about shows. They have This Week in History with the I guess I could say this: the Von-tastic Von, as he does this week in wrestling history. So shout out to that. And also on Monday Night Raw, we brought it back for you guys. Oh, I didn't click it. I'm sorry. We brought it back for you guys. The Monday Night Raw review show. I'm sorry, guys. I've got to drink some water here. I'm dying over here. But you have the executive consultant and Jeff. They right after Monday Night Raw. If you guys are up, stop by, tune in. There's also some stuff on entertainment. I think they already did Ready Player One. I'm not too sure, but just follow UPR Entertainment. We have some great content there as well. I do want to plug that tomorrow I will be with the Trio of Destiny. I will not be talking wrestling, but I will be talking Superman and Lois. We're going to talk about episode 2 of season 3. We're going to talk about that episode. I got to sit here and say, guys, I didn't like Superman for a while, but the show kind of makes me a fan of Superman. But we all know number one is, in fact, one Spider-Man. So let's freaking go. We got in the chat, George is laughing. We got Jeffrey saying, not AJ GoFundMe. Yes, yes, I did. Nakamura did the same thing to Cody Rhodes. I don't think Cody got kicked in the balls. I think he just kept getting missed. Jeffrey, I think Nakamura, if he just don't like you, you're either getting kicked in the balls, missed, or I don't know what else he's ever done bad. Jeffrey says he said, DJ said Iron Man is wrong. I said Iron Man wrong. I kid you not, dude. I always have this conversation with a friend. A lot of people sit here and say Iron Man was always like this top superhero. I disagree with that. I always sit here and go, if he was a fan, cool. But I also go, he really got big because of Robbie Downey Jr. And I just think that's just the truth. George said, Jeffrey, I'm sorry, Jeffrey, I mixed up your names. He'll be there for TNA Review Show. Thank you for that. We got New H Man. He says, hi there, guys. What's going on? And what's this? Baymania. Baymania. I thought we got Good Chris in the chat. And also, we got our own little separate things as part of the UPR family. Wrestling Doll, I always sit here and make sure you get the floor first and you talk about what you got going on in the lovely world of Wrestling Doll. Wrestling Doll, what do you got going on?
Well, I still have my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman. I was just at MegaCon on Saturday. As discussed after Vengeance Day, where I was dressed as Miss Chelsea Green, catching some wrestling that was happening that day, and I put it up online, which I will say this, for one of the videos, viewer discretion is advised. Wrestling gear tights were pulled down a little bit, and the hinds were revealed, and let's just say everybody saw more of two people than we wanted to see.
Outstanding stuff. The Unofficial Camera Woman. The link is in the description. So if you haven't done it, what's wrong with you? Go subscribe to that. It is fantastic. Very proud of your success there, Wrestling Doll. Good stuff. Keep up the fantastic work. I have a audio podcast. It is with Shay Sawyer. We talk about all the stuff in wrestling. We just dropped an episode yesterday. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're hoping to get some other platforms along the way. It was a good time. We gave our thoughts on the Rumble. We talked about the Rock and Cody situation. And once again, guys, before we leave, just enjoy wrestling. Don't be dickheads. You know, like we were saying earlier, that the whole stuff.
Something that they have no control over.
Yeah, let's not do that. Like, let's not do that.
For a character that they play on TV.
Hello. So with that all said, I think we did all the plugs. You guys are fantastic in the chat. Thank you for that, Jeffrey. Follow the Big Pop the podcast. Follow also the Unofficial Camera Woman YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back.
Podcast.
And same thing with the Unofficial Camera Woman YouTube channel. And we thank you guys. We'll be back next week. Continue to follow Unpopular Review. We have so much content here. It's a great time. And what Jeffrey said, leave Ava alone. Absolutely. So with that all said, right, we have to play the music. So, we got to do our little stick that we usually do. Okay, hold up. Give me a minute. I like how someone's backstage and doing absolutely nothing. I feel like this person should be fired. Like, can't play the music, can't do anything. What do you do? Absolutely not. Let's see if we got this music. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Is it playing? Does anybody hear the music? All right. You know what that means. We have one more chat here. And Father Unofficial Cameraman, like Jeffrey said, I'm yelling because this music is way too loud. Just like the Jersey Shore. But you know what that means, guys. With that music playing, that means we're all out of time. That's all we got here on Unpopular Review on Tuesday. We'll see you guys next week. Wow.